Hi guys, Trinity here. I want to do a deck review on the Wildwood Tarot. I know it's been done before, but I want to show you a little bit about this deck. Just to give you an idea, if you're a tarot reader, beginner, whatever it may be. So this is the guidebook. It's pretty thick, okay? And it was made by Mark Ryan and John Matthews, all right? Very thick guidebook, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you choose to order this deck, read the guidebook. While there are suits in this deck, very much like the Rider-Waite, it does follow this symbology pretty well with Rider-Waite, but this is a woods type, foresty type deck. So this deck is, if you're not into that kind of thing, it may not be for you. There's a lot of animals, a lot of forest things. The two gentlemen that put this together give an introduction in the beginning. Mark Ryan gives you his preface here, and then the other gentleman, John Matthews, he tells you about how he grew up in the forest, in the woodlands as a boy. Apparently he lived right near them, and he was in the woods all the time. And it was in Yorkshire, northern England, is where he grew up. So with that, this is kind of like their idea of the tarot in a foresty kind of flavor. Okay, and also the suits are not presented to you, because it's a forest theme, in the way of pentacles. Let me just show you the box and how that is. They separate it. They don't show you swords, pentacles, wands, cups. What they do is they change it. The cups are vessels. The wands are bows. We have stones for pentacles, and we have arrows for swords. So, and they've changed all the names. So just so you don't get confused, if you're a beginner and you want to get this deck and maybe slide it aside until you get a little bit more professional, a little bit more of a seasoned reader, that's okay. But it's a nice deck to have in your collection. I do recommend the Wildwood Tarot. I mean, it really is beautiful. I'm a very foresty person. I love the woods. Anyway, they changed the Fool to the Wanderer. As you can see, instead of the Magician, it's the Shaman. See how they used animals. These are not going to be, the way they had them laid in the box, they might be mixed up a little bit, but that's the Page of Bows. Ace of Bows. I mean, they're mixed up. Two of Bows. Three of Bows. When I read the guidebook, I didn't read the whole thing yet. I just got this deck as well. What they did is, when you read the sections on each suit, they did write in there what the element is. That's how you can tell. I mean, if you're Wiccan, pagan, you're going to know anyway what's what. But when you look at the sections on the suits, you're going to see that its element represents what it would be if it were Rider-Waite. And as I said before, they're not in order, so please forgive me. I could have done without, though, them changing the court cards to animals, because I kind of like my court cards to be people. You know, I mean, I love animals. Big, big animal freak. Forest freak. But when I look at court cards, they represent people. They should represent people. So I just kind of like to keep it that way. but it's still a great deck. If you're the kind of person that gets decks and you really like to trim your decks, then you're probably going to want to trim this because it has pretty big white borders. I don't trim my decks. I don't alter them. I kind of like to keep them the way they are, but that may change one day. Who knows? I've seen on some of the videos people alter their decks and they look fantastic. And if you're very familiar, if you do decide to trim this deck, just know that the bottom, when you take the border off, you're going to take the name off. If I was ever to get in the habit of trimming, I would trim the top and the sides. I'd take very little off the bottom, only because of, you know what else I noticed? I seen someone else do a review. I want to show you the backs of the cards. And they had a plain green back. This has like Celtic trees on it, and I love the Celtic knotwork. Very big into that. Anyway, my point is, I think there's a couple versions of this deck out there. It's probably the same imagery that's on the cards. It's just the backs are a little different because one came out a little earlier than the other. This is the Wildwood Tarot, not the Greenwood Tarot. There is a difference. The cards are very pretty, and like I said, you're going to have to really read the guidebook, because even if you think you know tarot, I would almost say that this kind of falls into tarot and oracle combined. The energies around the deck give me that kind of feel. Oracle decks don't generally have suits, though. But the way they laid these suits out, the way they put everything together, it almost feels like it's a combination deck. Because it's very, I just don't know how to describe it, but you'll know when you get it. You'll still grab a card from time to time like this, the Three of Arrows. Now, if you know your Rider-Waite imagery, you would know the arrows would have to be swords, only because there's a big wooden heart here with 3 arrows in it. So you know that's going to be the Three of Swords. You know, so there's little hints and clues that will lead you towards what's what. And like when you get to the Nine of Wands is actually the Nine of Bows. And there's a woodwood, which is, like in New England, a mythical creature that is kind of wreaks havoc and leaves a path of destruction behind him. It's about challenges. And if you're not really familiar with New England folklore, or you know, even Rider-Waite, the Rider-Waite system, you know, you're definitely going to have to read the book, but you're going to want to read it anyway, because it has a lot of good information in there that's going to explain some things to you. So this review was about the Wildwood Tarot, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of feedback on it. I do like the deck very much, and I use both Oracle and Tarot when I do my readings. I'll be honest, I use Tarot more, but I like to switch it up and use Oracle. So, have a great day, guys, and I hope this review helped you. Thank you very much.